What's good, my cracked heads? Welcome to the Cracked Soccer Podcast, episode number 28. On today's episode, we'll go over match day 30 with our cracked performances and our pour one outs. We'll also look into the League's Cup Semifinals are coming around the corner, I believe, tomorrow. Who do we think is going to win? Who do we think is going to make it to the final? We'll let you guys know. So, college soccer is underway, a new thing that we want to start to cover. We'll also take a look at the college NCAA college soccer. And the very first team in MLS has clinched a playoff berth for the 2025 Audi playoffs. Who is it? You guys stay tuned to find out. Bang, bang. Let's go.
Inter Miami.
What?
Inter Miami's the first team to clinch to the playoffs.
Dude, that's who you want. That's always who you want, man. That's always who you be talking about, man. Jeez, man. What's good, man? How we doing, Fern? Obviously, we're a little bit light today. Our boy Chino, had some got stuff going on. We all got stuff going on, so just us two today. But how you doing, Fern? How you feeling, man?
Good, just chilling. Feel like today's been a wild day for us. As you can tell, I'm a bit dirty from work, but yeah, no, feeling lighter without my boy Lopez here. But should be a good episode regardless. I'll try and make up for what we missed from him. So,
absolutely
ready to roll.
There we go, man. Well, before we get into our cracked performances, let's take a look at the cracked leaderboard. Did you, by chance, get this updated, my friend?
No, I didn't. I did.
Oh, this guy's yanking our chain right over here. Take a look at this. We're kind of okay. Let's see here. So no changes in the seating right here. Your boy is in first place with 192 points. In second with 178. And then Fern still in the bottom, man, with 168, bro. Let me know the info. Let me know the details.
I'm ass. Those are the details. I believe I got 6, Lopez got 5, and you got 7.
Okay.
Yeah, you got 7, right? But honestly, this was kind of a wildish week, I would say. I feel like there was a lot of upsets in the sense of losing, upsets in the sense of not sensing the sense, Just kidding. I caught myself saying sense too much, so I had to play it off. But upsets and like not winning the game when you're supposed to win the game, losing, stuff like that. So, yeah, it was. I was looking at because like the first 3 games, the first 3 games on the graphic that I made, there was literally like we didn't get any points for that. It was kind of one of those weeks. And even like last week before, I think I mentioned it where I was like, it's one of those weeks where we're like, these teams should win these games. And then they kind of don't. Like that week where I think we only had 3, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. That was a rough week,
for
sure. No, I know. I feel what you're saying, man. I mean, for Montreal to get some points against Austin FC, that's a pretty good team. That was very interesting. New England beating Columbus, one of those probably that nobody really would have guessed to happen. And then Inter Miami, dude. I mean, you'll probably touch on this a little bit later, but the fact that they tied against a not very good DC United team 1-1. Could it have been foreseen? Probably, just given that the team that they did put in. But yeah, a lot of these games should have definitely gone the other way.
And it's not even like they were winning and then DC United got lucky and they tied. DC United was winning for most of the game, up until the 60-something minutes. So it was crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Some crazy games for sure. We'll keep that leaderboard updated. We'll see if anybody can kind of catch up, man. It sounds like 10 and you're 20 behind Lopez's team.
Yeah, I'm 10 behind Lopez. Do you want to talk about my proposition?
Yeah, well, you do have a proposition. Let's hear it, man. I want to hear what you have to say about it.
So obviously, whoever is last usually gets very creative in trying to figure out a way of how to get to the top. So over the week, I proposed an idea to my boys over here and asked if, honestly, I mean, there probably is a way for me to make it, but it'll be very difficult to climb 20 points in the weeks coming up. So I was just saying, if we have all 3 of us, so it's fair, we each have 1 game. It can be the same game if you want it to be. But we each get to pick 1 game, and that game is worth 5 points. And the caveat, however you say it, to that is you have to pick the exact score. So, let's say LA Galaxy versus Colorado, like they finished 3-0. If I had guessed them the LA Galaxy to win 3-0, I would have got 5 points. But obviously, I had the LA Galaxy winning. But if they would have won and it was 3-1, I don't get any points at all for that game because you're betting the points to get the exact score. Like, it doesn't matter if the team that you wanted or you picked to win wins. If you didn't get the correct score, it doesn't matter, and you are gambling 1 point for 5, essentially.
Right.
So
okay, gotcha. I mean, I like the idea. I think it would be fun to do, but also continue to do like the picks. So like go through and like pick every.
Well, yeah, we'll do all the picks, but
Yeah.
you'll just have one extra game that's worth 5 points. Yeah,
and that totally makes it more interesting because, if it can be any game, obviously any score line that you predict, like that would be pretty nuts.
Like if you're like, oh, these teams are ass, I'm gonna go 0-0, and if it happens, then it happens.
Okay, yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, okay, yeah, let's do it. I'm all game for it. I'm sure Chino will be too. So what we can do is continue to call every single game, and then one of them we can just kind of see if we can pick the correct win and the correct score line.
Yeah, and obviously ties will matter in this because you want to guess the correct score line. So that's kind of the thing. But yeah, this will be the only time that we'll try and guess ties.
Okay, and I think we have how many weeks we got left? We probably got.
So if we're match 30,
except for Inter Miami, they got like 8-9 weeks left.
Yeah. Let's see. The last games are the 18th of October, or the 8th of October till the 18th. So how many weeks is that?
So all of September, which is 4.
So let's say this week doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. 7 weeks. Yeah, 6, 7.
Okay, that'll work. I mean, that gives you potentially 35 points, right? So,
or it could put me even lower on the leaderboard and make me look even worse. So,
or you can get nothing. And then all of us get all those correct picks. But yeah, I like it, man. I like the idea. We'll go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll obviously point those out during our picks. So I like the idea. I like it. We'll kind of run it by Chino, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, sir. He doesn't get a choice. He's not here.
I know he doesn't get a vote in it. Sweet. Now we're going into the next segment, into the correct performances of the week. Fern, I have you going first, man. I hope you're ready to roll.
Hell yeah, I'm always ready. So my player.
No way.
Did you see the doc?
I'm looking at it.
So actually, my player this week is Messi because he put. Just kidding. My player this week is Danny Musovsky for Seattle Sounders. Yep. So the Seattle Sounders won 5-2 surprise at Lumen Field, surprisingly. And Musovsky scored 3 of those 5 goals, 2 open play goals, and a penalty. So one right before the half, one at the 50th, and then at the 75th minute. So, he kind of popped off this game, and I don't remember who was the one that scored that crazy volley during the Club World Cup. Was it? No, it was the Leagues Cup. Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't remember, but that name sounded familiar, so I was thinking maybe it was him. But yeah, he's my player this week. He was actually the highest rated player in the team of the week this past week. So shout out to him. Shout out to the Sounders for winning a game they needed to win. Like we said, the West is not as crazy competitive as the East has been this year. But between 9th place and 4th place, which they're in, there is about a 9-point difference. So 3 games. So these games matter right now. If you drop any points, you could be out of the playoffs very quickly. Yeah, so shout out to them for winning that game, or shout out to him for helping his team win that game. And keeping up the streak.
13 goals so far.
Yeah,
solid.
13 goals. But yeah, that's my player of the week. And my game of the week actually goes to the LA Galaxy for coming in and getting a 3-0 win against the Pids. I mean, what can I say? They, based off these stats, they had more shots, more big chances. They had 2.34 expected goals compared to Colorado's 0.93, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really understand sometimes how they go based off that. I'm just assuming based off shots and shots on target and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, they pretty much had better stats in every category that mattered. So shout out to the Galaxy for finally. I don't want to say finally doing a little bit of something, giving their fans a little bit of excitement.
You actually saw some of those fans actually, excited to root for the team for once.
Exactly. And then, were they at home? I believe they're at home, right?
Yeah, they were in Los Angeles, I believe.
Yeah.
They played well, man. It was a good game. I mean, in that Mihailovic trade that they did, Colorado Rapids, I don't think that's going to work out for them, to be honest with you. Like that, I think that's really going to hurt them, to be honest. And that probably showed in this game. They're really just counting on Navarro now just to kind of score and be that guy for Colorado. But LA Galaxy, man, I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork. They're, at the end of the day, they're kind of like a Club America of the MLS. Like, they're kind of, everybody knows who they are. Sometimes they're pretty good, sometimes they're not. But when they like randomly are really bad, like they can start to win games out of nowhere, which is always nuts. So yeah, hats off to LA Galaxy, man. That's wild.
Also, I forgot to do it during my cracked player. But yeah, and I was just looking at the standings to see if there was even a chance, but I may be wrong in thinking, but they're probably eliminated, right? Like statistically, probably.
I think they got 19 points. I mean, they totally could not. Like, I mean, if there's six games left, 6, 12, 18, there'd be 18. I mean, no.
Yeah, I'm like, because I was like, because even like, they'd have to make up 35 points. That's 36 points. No, sorry, not 36, 26, right? Or 16 points. Mm-hmm. They need to make up 16 points, and that's just basing off the fact if these teams don't keep winning and doing what they're doing, which is probably not going to happen. So better luck next year, LA Galaxy. I'm sorry.
Well, for the MLS Cup, because we'll go into this later, but they could still get some silverware with a couple games that they got coming up. So we'll see, man.
We will see. Yeah, so that was my cracked game of the week. Shout out to you guys out in LA, the LA Galaxy. And now it's time to pour one out for my second week in a row, I believe. Is St. Louis. They're currently in a tie for the most pooed award of the year, with Las Vegas. Sorry, not Las Vegas. I was thinking of football. Los Angeles, with the Galaxy. But did you see what happened? The controversy that happened in their game?
A little. You can go ahead and let me know.
Okay. I'm gonna share my screen for a quick second. So I don't know if you saw this or not, but let me full screen it. So they have this play, right? Yeah, look, 99th minute. The score until Messi scores time,
I know.
Look at that.
I couldn't believe this.
Look at this.
I mean, Casper?
Casper, yeah, exactly. Look at that. I mean, I can. Well, look, the only thing that I can think, I don't even know. Can I slow it down right here?
Like right there. It's literally right where you have it frozen out. Right there.
Look, the only thing, like, you see this foot right here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My only way that I could see it of it possibly being the way the ref thought about it is this leg hits this guy's knee or something, and it causes him to trip over himself. Watch, see, he touches his knee and then he happens to trip over himself. But even if that's the case, it's not malicious intent or made. Exactly. He's just running and he just happened to accidentally, he's behind him. His cleat stud something hits the guy's knee, and those
If it
slight
hit him at all.
those slight movements, even if it's the slightest thing, can move it, especially when you're running at that speed. And yeah, so they gave him a penalty for that. And honestly, I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people. I'm assuming you also don't think that was a penalty worthy challenge,
No.
which is unfortunate because that penalty did become Thomas Miller's first official MLS goal. But I don't know. It's tough. I know as a joke, I said that the refs are affecting the game too much last week.
I mean, yeah.
But you know what? Like this, I don't know. I don't know what I'm not a ref. I don't know what goes into the training, but I feel like that. Even if it's just subjective of like, oh, what do you think? Did you think he meant to do that? Like, obviously he didn't mean to do that. It just clipped him, and he just happened to trip. So we'll see.
And then also, like, if you're calling this penalty, man, like, you got to understand this is the 99th minute. This is the last play of the game, and you're calling this penalty. Like, this is obviously going to decide the game. Not only that, but you're also calling this in Vancouver for Vancouver. Like, people are going to look at this and be like, yo, was this a little bit biased? Like, are you a little bit biased to Vancouver? Like, did you want them to win type of a deal?
You know what?
A little sketchy.
One of the things I've seen before in the past and like boxing is obviously sometimes, like you said, they're in Vancouver, the crowd is going crazy. That can kind of influence you. Obviously, it's not something that's possible to be done in soccer, but in boxing I've seen like the judges like sometimes like score it a certain way, and like a boxer's like, what the heck, like I should have won or we should have tied, like there's no way this guy should have won. But maybe during the time the crowd was super for one of the fighters, and then the fighter goes in, submits a complaint, and then the refs will go back in like a more neutral area, look at the fight, and be like, okay, you know what, we were right, or we were wrong, and then they can reverse the decision that they have made, which obviously becomes a lot harder to do something like that in soccer. So,
yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, it's a good point. So, the crowd definitely has an influence on it for sure. I mean, it kind of sucks that would happen, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, hopefully the guy doesn't he's obviously not going to get mugged for it over in Vancouver, but, we're not inciting that whatsoever. But I'm just saying, like, dude, we didn't see it as a penalty. You call it as a penalty. You better have a good reason to call that as a penalty. So at the end of the day, it caused Vancouver to win, though. Like you said, gave Mueller his goal. So
do you think though, like, do you think something like that could work in soccer where maybe you have one, because like obviously they do this for red cards. Like Diego Luna got a red card earlier this year. They went back, reviewed it, and was like, you know what, it wasn't a red card. They take it away. Do you think that's something we could see in the game, or do you think that's just too much power over it?
I think the cards are a little bit different just because you can kind of dictate on like, okay, they're going to miss the next match or they don't. But for them to go back and say like, oh, well, this was actually shouldn't have been a penalty, we'll have to take it away. The game ended up 2-2. Like, there's no way they're going to do that, especially because it's going to just piss off Vancouver. It'll piss off Vancouver fans. Like, it's going to be just such a big sticky area. And then people will be like, well, what about this game? And what about this game? And what about the game that happened on week 3? And you know what I mean? It's too much hairy, situation there. So I think at the end of the day, like, if they made a mistake, they made a mistake. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Go back and change it.
Yeah, just learn from it, I guess.
Exactly. So,
but
anyways, nice, solid performances, man. I love it. Love to hear them. Always some good ones that you call out. So thank you for that. I am going to kick off my crack performances of the week. My performances of the week. For my correct player, I'm going to go ahead and go with Milan Iloski. I believe I've had him on here before. I don't remember exactly when I had him on here, but I did have Milan Iloski. The guy had a assist and a goal this last week against Chicago Fire. A thrashing, man. 4-0 against Chicago Fire, which is absolutely nuts. He did have a 9.2 player rating. Obviously the player of the match for this game. But dude, what a freaking player to be playing right now, and obviously what a season he's been having right now, because this guy's just kind of been passed around like an insane amount. And we were discussing this a little bit before the episode, but it's kind of wild when you kind of look at him at a glance, right, to kind of how he's gotten to this position, because he started off as a Real Salt Lake player. So he started off here in the hometown, right? He started out here in Utah, way back when. He never
2020.
scored. Yeah, only played like 2 games. Then he went to the Real Monarchs, which is like our Division 2, right? The MLS Next or something team,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so they are on there, and he's on there kind of like on loan, right? Has 5 goals, only plays like 19 matches. Not the best performances either. Then he goes to the USL with Orange County SC, scores 43 goals in 70 games. So total turnaround, right? And then he goes to this team called Nordsland. Is it German or what?
No,
Denmark.
I was gonna say that's Nordic.
Yeah, so he goes over to Denmark, plays over there, only 2 goals in 18 games. Then he goes to San Diego FC, which is what I believe I gave him the correct player
When he
while
scored
was at
4
San
goals.
Diego. Yeah, because he had a killer time there. I mean, 10 goals in 14 matches, not bad. You know what I mean? But basically, San Diego was like, "Yo, like, we don't really need you nor want you." So they sent him back to the team from Denmark, Nordsjælland, and then he plays 1 game, doesn't score a single goal in that game, and then he goes to Philadelphia Union, and in 4 games he scored 2 goals. Does he have a spot? Does he have somewhere to live now in Philadelphia? Possibly, but at the end of the day, he's only made them better now with this win, with this thrashing to Chicago Fires. Hats off to him, man. Hats off to him, and just kind of being resilient, keeping at it, doing what he's got to do. The guy's only like 25 too, so still got a long ways ahead of him. He's also like a U.S. men's national team player that maybe one day he could be on the team, on the roster. You never know. But yeah, hats off to him, man.
It's crazy. He's only 26 too.
Yeah,
You'd think it was older, but that was crazy. When you said his name, I was thinking San Diego, and then you said Philadelphia. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I could have sworn he played for San Diego. And it's just weird to see, like, I mean, sometimes you'll see like a player playing for 2 teams within the same year because of the transfer window. 2 teams transfer within each other, but it's not very often that you see San Diego goes to his parent club, because he was on loan in San Diego and then gets shipped off to Philadelphia. So I'm wondering, I mean, I don't know if you know, but I'm wondering if maybe the team called him back, had to play him 1 game to follow some sort of rule, and then shipped them off to Philadelphia for more money, quickly, because I did look at the standings for the other team, and they're in the relegation zone of their league. So we'll see.
Probably could
maybe get some money.
But also, I think he fits well with Philadelphia. I don't know if you watched some of this game or anything at all, but Philly looked like Philly in this game. Like, they were attacking so much against the Chicago Fire team. They had 23 total shots, dude. 23, and Chicago only had 7. So they had 5 big chances that they created. Obviously, the possession went their way, not by much, but they did. And yeah, expected goal was only 2.7, and they had 4. I mean, they were firing on all cylinders, man. They were doing what they had to do. The first half of this game was basically all Philly, and much of the second half was just straight Philly. So they looked good. I mean, if they have him now and they're like, they like him where he's at, kind of in that left wing position, watch out, man. Philly's going to be pretty dangerous, which they already were, but even more now.
Yeah, definitely. With Barribo, maybe he's kind of stagnated a little bit as the season has gone, but maybe we'll see them. They'll definitely be one of those teams that does very well during playoffs. It's better for them to go down right now than when it matters towards the ends.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. So that's my correct player. So solid performance there from Milan Ilovsky. My correct game of the week, we already kind of mentioned this, so I won't go too much into detail, but Vancouver versus St. Louis, man. I mean, a hell of a game. Really back and forth, right? You have a goal from St. Louis early on, 14th minute. Then you have one from Vancouver, which I believe it was in the first half. Yeah, first half from White. And then you have one from St. Louis in the 73rd. Again with Vancouver in the 79th, and then just the Dream Crusher in the 99th/100th. Like, it was wild, right? So it would have been big if St. Louis got this win, because then, possibly could have been having some playoff implications, playoff conversations. It would have been a stretch, but it would have been awesome to see for them to be like a very good, Vancouver team. So yeah, this was a fun one to watch. It was awesome. It was sweet. Sour for St. Louis, but man, Vancouver came out on top, so hats off to them.
They just seem to do that because with against RSL, similar, besides the robbing part, similar game where they were down, and then they just come back and win the game, in the last minute. I always appreciate a team that can be down 2-0, which they weren't. They were down 2-1, but down like a few goals, and then they still have like the fire, the ability to like keep trying and keep trying. It's unfortunate for the Vancouver Whitecaps that it ended the way that it did, because it kind of takes away from their win. And a win's a win, but at the end of the day, when stuff like that happens, it kind of takes away from that determination that a team has and the ability to keep fighting back. Sort of like another team that I like to watch. Just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a solid game, and like you said, like they both continue to fight. So hats off to them. St. Louis, obviously, like very bottom, almost at the very bottom of the bracket, but they keep playing, they keep fighting. So hats off to them. For my last, performance here, for my pour one out, I'm gonna share something really quickly. Let me get this kind of loaded up here, and we can kind of take a look at this. Kind of funny, nonetheless. I think it's a little bit fun to kind of watch. Oh, I just timestamped it, and then it went away. 556, coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Okay, let me share this. Bang, bang. Hey, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and put this full screen here. Okay, so Montreal versus Austin FC. As you can see, it's the 65th minute, and it is 2-1. What's going to happen? Let's take a look at my pour one out. What are you doing? The thing that makes this so funny, in my opinion, is like, bro, like, you didn't even hit it with your head. You literally just hit it with your arm.
He watched some Maradona highlights before the game.
I know, man. He did something, and it was just not what it was intended. Like, geez, you were far off, bro. Obviously, that was a little bit funny to watch. I forget the guy's name. We'll probably find it here in a second, but he obviously played for Austin FC, and yeah, I mean that basically caused the penalty at the very end of the game, the 65th, 66th, and basically gave Montreal that win at the end of the day. Gave them that penalty, and then Montreal gets the win 3-1 against a very decent Austin FC team. So, it is what it is, but dang, bro, sometimes you gotta think. You gotta put your mind to it. Literally.
I can't I can't tell who he is based off these pictures. He looks like Dessler, so I don't know what number he was wearing. Was it 3?
I didn't see it. It didn't show. Let me go back and see. Let me just try to see it while I do this.
I mean, while you do that, I'm just like thinking. I'm like trying to like in my head think of like why
5, I think.
Why like his hand is in that position. Okay, so then it was Svatok. Alexander Svatok is who it was. But like, I feel like as a defender, especially when you like see a lot of these players defending and the ball is like they're in their box and they're always like playing with their hands in their back, because you don't want the ref to call anything. But like for him to like go out for a header and do this, like I feel like that's such a weird like position to have your hand in, like when you want to go out to clear a ball. So I want to know what was going through his head when he did that.
I know. At the end of the day, man, like you probably weren't going to win the game anyways. Well, maybe you could have, because there was some plenty of time, but you at least could have tied the game. But then this kind of just put that nail in the coffin, and it was just like, it's over. Like, it is what it is. So, that kind of sucks for them. It is what it is. But pouring one out for Austin FC for having to lose against Montreal that way. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah, they did score 10 minutes after that too, and they just couldn't get that extra oomph that they needed.
Exactly. So those are our performances for the week. Pretty solid stuff right there. We'll kind of get into the headlines now. We'll get into some of the sweet headlines that we kind of got going on right now. It's going to be interesting, man, here. I'm going to pull this up really quickly because I really want to talk about the Leagues Cup 2025, because your boy called it, man. I mean, I don't know.
Every MLS team.
Dude, I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know how, just the soccer gods just spoke to me, man, and it is what it is. Let me share the screen really quick so that everybody can understand and see this. We have the semifinals of the Leagues Cup 2025 coming up August 27th, tomorrow to us, at 6:30 and 8:45 p.m. Miami taking on Orlando,
Bro,
Clásico del Sol, and LA taking on Seattle. What are your thoughts, bro? How wild is this?
my thoughts are they need to stop putting these games at 8:45, bro. I'm trying to go to sleep.
Dude, I know.
But I watched the Tigres Miami game. I watched the Toluca Orlando game. I think Seattle versus Puebla was after. I was watching a little bit of it. But I kind of ended up falling asleep.
Well, yeah, 0-0 game.
Excuse me. I burped a bit. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I tried muting myself. Yeah. So honestly, and then when I woke up, I didn't process my head to try and go look at the scores. But after you texted and you're like, bro, I called it. I was like, no way the LA Galaxy beat Pachuca was like my first like instinct because Pachuca is one of the better teams in Liga MX. And would you know it? They did. My boy Marco Royce with the game winner, technically. And the worst part is they lost due to an own goal. If you want to put it that way, because yeah, they scored an own goal in the 27th, and Royce scored in the 37th minute. So I missed a good game there. And then the no, sorry, not the LA
They
Galaxy.
shouldn't have won either.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, they got lucky. In my opinion, I don't want to say Orlando got lucky too, but Toluca was really fighting to get that goal at the very end. And then they went to penalties, and what's his name? It says it, Gallese, right there, the last guy that scored for Orlando City. Mm-hmm. 2 straight blocks, and the shithousery continued because he went in and scored the game-winning penalty for Orlando City. So I don't know if he got man of the match, but in my opinion, he should have got man of the match for blocking those 2 pens and then scoring the last one.
The game winner.
Yeah, and obviously Tigres unfortunately lost due to 2 penalties, 2 handballs. And I mean, like I said, a win is a win, but it's not great to see your team only make it due to 2 penalties. I mean,
so was it Suarez that scored?
Both of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the last one was like in the last minute of the game. That Angel Correa goal was really nice. I don't know if you saw it or not. But the defender just, I don't know what he was doing. He just messed up. And like Correa gets the ball and then he goes towards goal, and then the defender just gets scared or something and like backs off a bit, and that just gives him that little space to like touch the ball in and score a nice goal. So yeah, I feel like Tigres definitely played way better than Inter Miami in the last probably like 20-30 minutes of the game. And then to top it all off, after Suarez scores that penalty, you saw it, the player heads the ball, hits the inside of the post, bounces, looks like it crosses over, but it doesn't cross over, and like you can tell from the other angles, and hits the other inside of the post. And at that point you think, oh shoot, it's gonna pop in or something. Mm-hmm. And Gignac is like waiting for it, so if it were to just like pop out right in front of him, he could have scored that, but it didn't, and the goalie caught it, and it was just the craziest thing I saw that game. So
yeah, this is pretty wild for sure. Man, this is insane. I mean, that game was definitely interesting to watch. I mean, the fact that they can get things done without Messi, right, at the end of the day, but it is a little bit sketchy the way that they can kind of get things done. I still think that back line is very much in need of an upgrade, but
honestly,
I mean, the ball rolled their way, bro.
Ian Frey has been probably one of like the best, their right back has been one of the best,
better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, best players they've had up to like that whole right side. Yannick Bright is like also. Well, I was talking about Yannick Bright, their right mid. He has been playing really well as well. So yeah, they have some pretty decent players. If they can get maybe one top class center back, it'll definitely help them out a lot. But
Interesting. So
Yeah.
there was a different guy from him. I forget who
It's
it was. That was over
it's
there.
Wagant 57.
Oh
That's the
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
I don't like him that much. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I
No.
prefer Ian Frey because I believe Frey played last year. He had come back from an ACL injury.
Mm.
First game back from his ACL injury, tears his ACL.
Ugh.
So he's been back and he's been playing really well. So
Well, that's
yeah,
good.
it's been nice. And then yeah, I mean, going into these next games, it's going to be very interesting. Like we talked about, what was it, a couple weeks ago? Orlando or Miami hasn't beat Orlando in Orlando
All year, yeah.
all year. So it'll be in Miami. It kind of reminds me of the Rams 49ers rivalry. When the Rams won the Super Bowl, the Niners beat them all throughout the regular season. They didn't beat them. Goes into playoffs, which is where it matters. This is a semifinal, and the Rams beat them and go into the Super Bowl. So I feel like this is the chance. And the way Miami set up their team this past week, you can tell that they want to win this game. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm honestly scared. I'm not going to lie. This is probably the worst outcome because there's always that mental block, you know? Like
Yeah.
they've beat you so many times. You've tried to beat them. You just can't. Is that going to stop them from winning this game?
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's one of those things too. I don't think, at least I'm not sure. Yeah, we still don't have any lineups confirmed for this game, but I'm assuming Messi won't be there. You know, he's gonna get a shot at something.
See, I hope he's there. I'm guessing. I know he's injured, but if he's going to play a game, it'll probably be this one because. Do you know when the final is for the
Let's take a look. Final TBD Sunday,
August 31st?
So
Oh
Sunday.
shoot!
Yeah,
Whoa!
it's gonna be this Sunday, man. It'll be quick.
Dang, that's quick. I was gonna say because sometimes they'll do the semis and then like a week or so later they'll do the final. So yeah, oof. If he doesn't, okay. So if he doesn't play this game, then I can see him playing the final. But I feel like he knows that the team needs him. So
yeah, for sure. To be honest, even if he does play, if he does play, I think they're a very dangerous team. They're a very different team, obviously. But I do think Orlando is extremely solid. They're an extremely solid team. They did lose this last week, I believe, against who did they play? They played
Nashville, 5-1.
Yeah, they got killed by Nashville, which I mean, I never would have thought that they would get beat that bad, to be honest with you, but they got absolutely killed. And you expect them to do a lot better too, just because they are such a high-powered offense. They did have 12 shots in that game, 4 on target, 50-50 possession. It was a game, but at the end of the day, Nashville did get most of the goals in on that one. I don't know, man. Like you said, it might be a little bit of those mind games where it's like, hey, we've beaten you guys basically all year. We'll have no problem with you guys if you do have Messi or if you don't.
Yeah.
Orlando might go into this and just say, hey, you know what? We're still going to win. Doesn't matter who's playing, who's on the field. We're going to come out and just go balls to the wall. So
I will say
I see Orlando winning, to be honest.
I kind of do too. That's why I'm scared. But I was going to say their game that they lost to Nashville, it was also a similar situation to Miami's where they didn't play their main guys. They played their 2 starting center backs and their goalie. But that was about it. Muriel scored a goal and then he got a red card, so he'll be missing the next MLS game. But we'll see because they're not coming off of great games. Obviously, a 5-1 loss, a 1-1 draw. So we'll see how it goes. Like you said, I hate to say it. I kind of see Orlando winning. Obviously, I want Miami to win. But just the way the year has gone, and if Messi doesn't play, it'll be tough. Yeah, it'll be hard.
Yeah.
And then
going on the other one too. I mean, LA Galaxy and Seattle. I mean, what a freaking matchup, dude! How many times have these two teams played? Is this not a rivalry whatsoever, or is it?
Let me see. I'll tell you here. Meow. So their overall head-to-head. I'm not gonna do this math in my head. The LA Galaxy has 17 wins. And then they have 13 draws and 18 wins for Seattle.
Oh, wait, how many? 13 and 18?
17 wins, 18 wins for the LA Galaxy. So Seattle has that 1 win over them, and they have 13 draws in total.
Dang.
So
This is a tight matchup, man. This will be sweet. The
yeah,
fact that LA Galaxy's in this game is absolutely nuts, by the way. Like, I remember we mentioned this last week when we were talking about LA Galaxy potentially being able to beat Pachuca, and where you kind of think about them as like, hey, they got nothing to lose. Like, this is it for them. They want trophy. Like, if they want some silverware,
they
they
laughed
got
at
Leagues
me.
Cup. What?
I said they laughed at me.
Yeah. I mean, they have Leagues Cup that they could potentially win. They have that Campeones Cup, obviously, where they'll play Toluca here in a couple weeks, for potentially like a trophy there. But this one's big because I think we mentioned this last week, but top 3 teams here will be able to get into the CONCACAF Championship, the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and then from there, if the Champions Cup, if you win that, then you go into the Club World Cup, right? So you're getting a payday just from attending, which is nuts. So, I mean, yeah, bad season potentially for LA Galaxy this year, but if they can get even just 3rd place, I mean, dude, you're doing something right. I mean, because then you're getting into these other tournaments to continue to be competitive and having to play. So they got nothing to lose. I can see them winning. To be honest, it's gonna be in Los Angeles, so it could be
Home
wild for
stadium.
them. Yeah, I like them. I like LA Galaxy for this. It's kind of wild that we kind of picked them against Seattle because Seattle's a good team, man. Don't get me wrong. You mentioned what's his face has been having a really good season so far with 13 goals, but man, I mean, it's mind games at this point. It's late. I guess it's not late technically for these 2 teams, but yeah, LA Galaxy looks good right now, man.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, the way the season began, I didn't think it'd be this hard to choose between the LA Galaxy and Seattle. But they have been playing pretty well up until now, and Seattle also came off a pretty good win this past weekend. So this is a tough one. I would like to see the LA Galaxy make it to the Leagues Cup. I feel like I'm assuming the Leagues Cup is going to be the same. Whoever is the higher seeded team is going to get home field advantage, right, in the final.
I would assume so. They
Because
haven't
that's
it, so
I think that's what they've been doing.
yeah, probably.
So if Inter Miami win, they'd be playing out in Miami. So yeah, I think regardless of the outcome, we're gonna have a good final. At least I hope so. I don't want like teams freaking losing 5-4-0 in the final.
Yeah.
That's always boring. Like the Champions League final this year just dragged on because you want to see a competition. You don't want to see a team that won in the half already. So we'll see how it goes. But 3 of these 4 teams will be in the CONCACAF Champions League next year or Champions Cup next year. So whether they win or lose, that's still kind of a win for them, especially for the LA Galaxy, because if they can get into the final, they're guaranteed a Champions Cup spot no matter what. And that's probably, I mean, they can hope to win, but that's probably one of the things they'll hope for to get into the Champions Cup, because next year it will be tough because I don't think they'd get much. I mean, or maybe they want to rest. You know what? Maybe they don't want to. They want to come forth so they can get more rest next year. But with Ricky Puig coming back, they're going to want to be playing in as many competitions to keep their top players happy.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. So, I mean, I have Orlando, LA Galaxy for the final on Sunday. I think at the end of the day, it can really go either way with Orlando and LA, but this might be Orlando's year where they, maybe they save themselves a little bit for this tournament just to make sure that they get some silverware. But I like Orlando taking it all. So, but so I'll pick Orlando to take it, this whole thing. And then I'm also going to say LA does get at least 3rd place to go to the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna go. Well, you said Orlando, LA, right? Or you want Orlando, Seattle in the final? Because I would pick the same winner on that right side of LA, but I would pick Miami to win. I'm gonna send it. I don't care. I'll be the fanboy. I'm not gonna be like those Seattle fans. Oh, we don't want to win anyways. We're gonna win this. They're gonna win this game. So yeah, I'll go Miami, LA Galaxy for the final. I will give it to Miami to win, and I'll give Seattle getting that 3rd place spot, knocking Orlando out of the Champions Cup, which Orlando has a better chance of getting into the Champions Cup just based off their table positioning.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean they'll probably still get in no matter what, but
Yeah.
it's always good. It's always fun to predict those. So, but that'll be sweet to see, man. Yeah, like we said. So tomorrow the semifinals will be up and going, and then this upcoming Sunday, the league's cup final. Maybe we do like a virtual watch. Maybe potentially we'll see.
I mean,
If you guys have time, I mean, we'll kind of see how the Sunday ends up looking, but we can always put a pin in it, right?
I'll. What time is the game?
I don't think it said. It says
Let's see.
TBD. So we'll find out
TBD.
tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I'll make time if you want to watch it, we can stream it while we or something. But
Yeah.
I can definitely make
Just, like,
time on
watch it.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can illegally stream it for everybody watching. I'm just kidding.
We'll get
No.
taken down so fast.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm definitely down to make some time. Depending on what time it is, I'm
Right.
assuming it'll be probably like noonish time because it's a weekend
I'm assuming it's going to be like later. I think.
later.
Well, I think.
I mean, either ways, the next day I don't work, so
Yeah, I think if Miami gets in, then they'll play it at like 6,
yeah.
7. But if LA wins, it's a little bit later, maybe 7, 8.
There's no way they'll make it that late. I don't think so. It's a Sunday.
Okay, we'll see.
That's my opinion. It makes sense right now because it's in the middle of the week. On the weekend, you can do it 3 or 4. That I feel like that's a pretty decent time to go to like a sporting event out in.
Yeah.
But even if there's no way it'd be in LA though, because they're the lowest seeded, aren't they?
Oh, you're probably right.
So I think either ways it'll be in Florida. Yeah.
So it has to be a little bit earlier. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's better for us anyway, so that's solid. Okay, cool. On to the next little thing that I wanted to bring up here, the next little headline. I mean, NCAA men's soccer is up and going, man. Like, this is something that is very cool, something that I definitely want to get into a little bit more. I don't know anything about men's college soccer. I really don't. I want to learn more about it. So if you watching are good or know stuff about college soccer, men's college soccer, let us know, man. Let us know who we need to watch out for. I want to know teams. I want to know players. I want to know rivalries. I want to know best stadiums, best fans, things like that, right? Like that's something that I definitely want to start getting into a little bit more and just sharing on this podcast and giving those guys some shout outs because at the end of the day, what's feeding the MLS? It's probably NCAA men's soccer. It's college soccer, right? And I think we've discussed this before where I would love to just see a lot of this talent that we have in college soccer just go into the MLS and make this league a lot better. So we need to focus on, kind of these things that are kind of making these players coming into the professional leagues, and just making the league better. So let's focus on this. Let's look at this. What are your thoughts, dude? It's brand new. Like I said, it's brand new to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm on the same boat as you. I don't watch a lot of men's soccer, college soccer in general. So I usually stick to the pros for most sports that I watch. So this is, I don't know what do they stream this stuff on? I probably need to catch it myself on some of these streaming sites to see if I can get to watch some games or even go out of my little valley and hit up some live soccer games. Like Utah Valley just barely played Gonzaga and beat them 4-0 over the weekend. So
nice.
I don't know, Gonzaga, I think of basketball. I don't know how their soccer program is, but it's still crazy to think of like a Utah school coming in and beating a big school like that. Because regardless whether or not their team is the best or not for soccer, they probably can afford to get better players. You would think with such a big school. So yeah, I mean,
right now we have, if you can kind of see these, I put a couple links in this. Right now we have the top 25, right? So we have Vermont, Marshall, Pittsburgh, Stanford, Wake Forest, Clemson, Indiana, NC State, Duke, West Virginia in the top 10, right? So solid schools. I think a lot of these you can kind of see and you're like, okay, ACC is probably very good here. What used to be the Pac-12, I believe now they're in the Big 10, Big 12 maybe, probably a very good, a very good conference there. But the cool thing about this too is like, yeah, like there's a lot of the thing that's crazy about college soccer is it's so fast, right? So it's soccer, but it's like as fast as like the football season. You know what I mean? Like NCAA football. Like it's just quick. It's bang, bang, bang. These guys are playing like twice a week. You know what I mean? Where can we watch them? Dude, I think it's on like the ACC network, SEC network, Big 10, Big 12 network. Like I think it's specific like conference networks. But I don't know. I mean, I have the sports package for YouTube TV, so I can kind of see some of these. Like I was watching one last night, and I was just kind of watching that game. But yeah, I mean, we got to start making some points of like, hey, what games do we need to watch? With some of these upcoming games. I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, maybe try and scout some players for RSL.
Yeah, I know, right?
They have a good
What's
enough.
Today
is the 26th.
Yeah, so there was games today, dude.
Tuesday.
Look, there was games today.
Yeah.
Clemson beat
I was looking, I was like, Sunday they had a game, Saturday they had games, Friday they had games, Thursday they had games. They've literally had a game. I believe Thursday was the first. And since then they've had games every day. So the 26th, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's literally a game every week or every day.
So check this out. Thursday, they got games Thursday, okay? And I'm just going to go off of rankings here because Thursday's like packed. Like there's a ton of games. There's basically games from, what is it? 10 a.m. till 8:30.
Bro, this one says 1 a.m. There's a game that says 1 a.m. The Gonzaga UIW game. Heck? That one's at 1 a.m.
Dude, wow, that's a weird time to play a game. Look, Utah Tech's on there. That's wild. Anyways, I was just gonna kind of look at some of these because, look, you got Ohio State is ranked 3rd, okay, and they're playing Oakland. Denver is ranked 4th, and they're playing San Diego, which is ranked 10th. So that might be a good game. Denver versus San Diego. That should be a pretty fun one.
Denver and Stanford played on Sunday, and Stanford upset them technically because they were 4th and 10th.
Oh, really?
12. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I think that's the game when was that? Sunday?
Sunday, yeah. Stanford.
Dude, I think that was the game I was watching, actually.
Maybe. It ended 2-1.
For real. Well, those are like the ranked games that we kind of have. So I might just say, hey, Thursday, if you guys want to watch some college soccer, I might watch this San Diego versus Denver game, bro. Take a look at that. Denver's 1-1. San Diego's not. They're 0-1-1, so they haven't won a game quite yet, but they are still ranked. So maybe we'll kind of see what happens there. And then for the weekend, I mean, for Vermont, dude, you've kind of seen them, right? They've just been kind of, They won it last year. They're pretty good. We'll have to keep tabs on them and just kind of see what players stand out. Some pretty good games on Friday as well. West Virginia, Akron, 16th and 21st. And then Pittsburgh, Georgetown, 7th and 25th. So that'll be pretty cool. I mean, I just wanted to kind of point things out and like say, hey, like this is kind of what I want to start to watch a little more. So hopefully, for any of our fans out there that are watching this podcast, if you know college soccer, men's college soccer, dude, let us know. Let us know what we got to watch because I'm going to start watching some of these games.
Yeah, definitely. Because UVU is 2-0, and there's some 2-0 teams in the top 25. So I don't know how they go. It looks like it's similar to college where they go based off votes and stuff. I don't know what these points are
rankings
or what they mean. But I wonder if there's ever been any Utah teams ranked in the top 25.
How did you search for them?
I just saw that they play at 5 on Thursday, so I just clicked on it and it said the record was 2-0. Utah Tech. I'll probably keep an eye out on some of these Utah teams. Utah Tech is 0-2. So not the best, but it gets really hot down there, so it's probably messing with their head. But yeah, no, I'll definitely over this week I'm gonna keep an eye out. I feel like now that Barcelona is back, I've been more like
Barcelona.
Yeah, a bit like just like soccer. Like I don't know, like it does something to me,
It just gives you that itch.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, dang, they just popped off. I need some more. So I'll definitely watch some of this.
UVU plays?
They play Thursday, like everybody else at 5.
Oh yeah, 5. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, there they are, Utah Valley.
Yeah,
2-0, dude. That's wild.
Wait,
what? So I'm trying to understand. Okay, bracket wise. So like, how do the divisions and everything work in men's college soccer? I don't know.
I don't even know
Like,
because I don't know
what is
what
UVU?
conference. That's what I'm like. I don't know what
Yeah.
conference they would be in. They're
Like
in
what?
the Western Athletic Conference. I just literally picked a
Oh, the
random one in it.
WAC.
Yeah, I literally just picked one like randomly, and they just happened to be there. I just looked for a
What?
W.
That's wild.
So
Oh, look, search for schools, Utah Valley. Dang,
so
that's wild, dude. Anyways, yeah, we'll kind of keep track of these. Like I said, I definitely just want to get into this a little bit more and just kind of see what teams are playing, what universities are playing. Definitely want to give them some love, show them some love, and make sure that they understand, like, hey, man, like, I want to watch you guys play too. I want to see you guys ball out in college and then ball out in the MLS. Like, let's keep this, generation of, players and talent here in the States. Let's make sure that they get some love. So we'll keep track of this. We'll keep looking at it. Again, if you guys know of any teams, anybody that we need to kind of keep our eye out, let us know, and we'll keep track of those teams, players, matchups, everything above. So,
sir, let's get the
um,
next Messi out of Utah.
yeah, man, there you go. We'll see how that goes. Last thing I was gonna mention, we do have, and this is just something. The last thing that I was kind of looking at. If you had anything else, we can definitely look at it too. But there is Pochettino. He did release the U.S. men's national team roster for the upcoming friendlies against Japan, and I think they're playing South Korea. I could be wrong, but it's one of those two. U.S. men's national team soccer for September 2025. Very interesting roster, my guy. So you have Celentano, Reese, and Klinsman down at the goalkeeper. And then for defense, you have Arfston, Inks, Blackman, Est. Freeman did make that team, so sweet.
What does he play for? I just saw his name. We were talking about
Freeman,
it. Yeah, Orlando.
Orlando.
Okay.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, and then you do have Tim Ream, and then Chris Richards, solid players. In the midfield, you got Tyler Adams, Berhalter, Luca de la Torre, Luna did make that squad. McGlynn, remember I mentioned him as a correct player for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack McGlynn's on there. Sean Zawadski. And then for forwards, we have Downs, Pulisic, Sargent, Weah, and then Zendejas. So very interesting kind of lineup there for these friendlies, because some of these guys, I mean, obviously you didn't see them in the Gold Cup, but not. I mean, to say that this isn't an interesting lineup is, not. I'm not going to say that because it is a very interesting lineup, but I think it's getting closer to like, hey, this is probably what we're going to see going into 2026. So I'm very excited to see how they do against these two, against the, I think it's South Korea and Japan for the friendlies.
What's Matt Turner's not on there? You think that's a sign of what's coming for him?
Maybe,
Unfortunately.
maybe, possibly, because even Brian White hasn't. Brian White's not on there. You don't see him on there. You don't see.
Ooh.
What was it? Is Freeze the guy from
Yeah,
New York
he's the
City?
one that saved the penalties.
Yeah, and then you don't see over there in Colorado. ¿Cómo se
The
llama?
keeper.
Yeah.
He got hurt though, so
Oh, did he?
yeah.
That's probably why, huh?
So that's why he missed out on the Gold Cup because of his injury. But it's Stefan.
Stefan, that's right. Yeah, so kind of an interesting roster, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be like the one they're going to take to the World Cup. It's probably pretty
Yeah.
close, but it will be interesting to see how these guys like play with each other for these two friendlies. So I just wanted to bring that up. It looks very interesting. I'm excited to watch them play. I don't know about you, but what do you? I mean, any like final thoughts from that?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it on my phone right now.
You're good.
I mean, the one player that always sticks out to me is freaking Tyler Adams, dude. That guy does not miss a freaking game for the U.S. He's always there playing. But no, this. I mean, I don't know if back to the Matt Turner thing and some of those other players you mentioned. I don't know if this is again Pochettino just being he's new. He's new. He pretty much is like I need to find these players. I need to know who I have in this
Mhm.
country who can play for us. And now is like the perfect time because let me see. So they have South Korea and Japan, and then they have Ecuador and Australia friendlies in October, so a month after. And then after those 4 friendlies, the next time that they play like together will be the first game of the World Cup in June 12th. So I feel like maybe those next games in October might be more of a like a set in stone type of team that is going to play for the World Cup, because he's going to kind of want to get the team that he has in his mind at that point, his starting team, to play. Obviously, he'll have them in training, but he wants to see them play in a full game. So I think once October comes, we'll have maybe a better idea of who will be starting for the U.S. come the World Cup. And I mean, the nice thing is you have seen Diego Luna in literally every team since Pochettino has come in. So you can tell he really likes him. So I don't want to jinx anything, but God willing, everything goes well. Diego Luna will be playing in his first World Cup for the U.S., and that will be very exciting for not just me as an RSL fan, but just a fan of Diego Luna to see him, maybe
be solid. It'll be fun to watch for sure. Got to get one of those jerseys too, for sure. If he gets in there, that'll definitely be a purchase that we all need to do. So that'll be fun to watch. So yeah, good stuff, man. I mean, we'll kind of see how those friendlies go, and then we'll keep track of those as well as the ones in October. Last thing too, and we'll just say this really quick before we kind of get into the picks. I know we're kind of running up on time here, but lastly, I mean, San Diego FC, man, their playoff spot for the Audi 2025 MLS Cup playoffs. Historic. I mean, debut season, first team to qualify for the playoffs. They did it against Portland, which they only tied 0-0, but a lot of other things kind of went their way. But yeah, I mean, right now they're behind Philadelphia Union by 1 point for the Community Shield. We'll see what happens at the end of the day, at the end of the season, but at least they can say, hey, look, first season, no problem, man. We'll go into the playoffs. We'll play our game. We'll do what we got to do, potentially even win the MLS Cup. Insane to do in your very first season. I'm sure everybody that is rooting for San Diego FC and has become a fan is just hyped about this news. Good for you, San Diego. Way to freaking kill it, man.
Yeah. So as you were saying that, it kind of came to my mind of like, has any MLS team ever won the MLS Cup in their first year as an expansion team? And obviously I asked my AI assistant, and it says yes, but it's extremely rare. And I obviously asked outside of the very first season in '96, because obviously whoever won that is their first year winning. But so only one other expansion team has won the MLS Cup in their debut season. Do you know who it is? Or did you just look it up?
No, I haven't looked it up.
It was in '98. And that
was in '98?
Yeah.
Wow. It had to have been... I mean, you got the OGs like DC and San Jose. Man, what was one?
It was an expansion team, so it wasn't one of the first
so it can't
teams.
Be one of the OGs, right? So it had to have been one of the OGs. I mean, it's still somewhat of an OG, right? At this point, I'm gonna go with like a New York team. Is the Red Bulls, or the Red Bulls like a thing, or like
it's a Midwest team.
Midwest, Chicago.
Yep, the Chicago Fire. Yeah. Chicago Fire won the MLS Cup and the U.S. Open Cup in their very first year.
Wow.
And it says no other MLS expansion team has managed that feat. Many have come close, like LAFC winning the Supporter Shield in 2019, their second season. Atlanta winning the MLS Cup in 2018, their second season. But yeah, Chicago has been the only one to win it the very first year. So if San Diego somehow pulled this off, they'll be the first team since 1998 to win the MLS Cup in their first year of an expansion team.
Nuts, dude. That's absolutely insane. So, I mean, I hope so. I hope they do it, man. That'll be so cool to see. So, hats off to San Diego.
Maybe next year. Messi needs it this year.
Yeah, maybe. Solid stuff, man. So we'll kind of keep an eye on San Diego FC. But as for that, let's go ahead and get into these picks here, bro. Absolute full slate on Saturday. August 30th. Lots of good games, to be honest with you. But what single game stands out to you looking at these? What are you excited to watch?
There's quite a few good games. Obviously we have the Canada Bowl, the Maple Mountain Cup play, whatever. Toronto
Maple
versus
syrup.
the Toronto Montreal. That'll be a nice little rivalry game. Obviously, we know what happened last time they played. Out of these top teams, the one that stands out the most to me is the first. I mean, they all play at 5:30, but the first game, the one up top. You mentioned Philadelphia has been was playing very attacking in their last game. Cincinnati obviously lost to not a team that they should have beat
Right.
with the way they've been playing. I don't want to say New York City FC is a bad team, but they should have beat them with the team they have. So we'll see how it goes. It could be high scoring. It could not be high scoring. Sometimes when you play these really, what do you call it, like elite teams, they tend to like know like, oh, if we make a mistake, Philadelphia's going to score on us. If we make a mistake, Cincinnati's going to score on us. So instead of playing very aggressive, they play very like farther back, and these games sometimes tend to be a bit lower scoring. So, but I would probably have to give it to FC Cincinnati, although they haven't been playing the best based off the record. But I would just have to give it to them just because they have a Vander on their team. And that's kind of the main reason I'm doing it, just because of Evander.
Yeah, I mean, number 1 versus number 2. I mean, you can't go wrong with this game. FC Cincinnati, again, just an absolute powerhouse. Same with Philadelphia. The thing that's wild is, like I mentioned, just in this last game, Philadelphia looked like a very strong Philadelphia team. Was it because they played a who did they play again? They played
Chicago Fire.
Yeah, they played Chicago Fire. Like, Chicago Fire's not a bad team either. But is it because they played a Chicago Fire that's like still somewhat middle of the table, Like, is that the reason that they kind of ran circles around this team? I don't know. Can they do that against a pretty good FC Cincinnati team that's, kind of struggling, but not, playing to their full potential? I'm not sure. I liked what I saw from Philly last week. I think they can continue to do that, so I'm going to give it to Philly. But nonetheless, this will be a very good game, very fun game to watch for sure on Saturday. So solid pick, man. I love that choice. Like you mentioned, so many different good games with the Canada Bowl here. Orlando, Vancouver also looks to be, a very good game here. I'm a little bit interested in this one specifically just because, Orlando is going to play tomorrow and they're going to have to play on Saturday. So do they end up winning this game, which I predict that they do, and then do they rest their players and take a hit from Vancouver? I'm not sure. But I'd like to think that even with, a not so strong Orlando City, could they still beat a Vancouver team that, yeah, they've been winning some games. They've been doing okay the last 5 games, but they're not looking like the very first Vancouver that we saw like between week 1 and week 10. You know what I mean? Like, they're not the same. So I could see this go either way. I do think Orlando could take this one as well, but it'll be an interesting game for sure, especially with Muriel being out. But again, do they rest a lot of their players, given that they could play on Sunday? I don't know. If that's the case, I mean Vancouver for sure. So.
Yeah, that's definitely the same thing with me with this game and pretty much any other team that is in the Leagues Cup. Those I might have to make up my mind after tomorrow, seeing who wins, because obviously if Orlando's going to play Sunday, there's no way that they're going to play their top players the day before. Or maybe, I don't know, whichever of these 4 teams ends up making it to the final, maybe they postpone their game. I don't know. Because I mean the Leagues Cup is an MLS trophy, so I could see them postponing their game Saturday and not even have to like worry about playing your worst team. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that game, the Inter Miami game, and then the LA. Those 2 bottom games all kind of depend for me will be on who plays on Sunday, which I think both of them would play Sunday, or all 4 of them would have to play Sunday, right? Because the third place game would be that Sunday. So I guess we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm picking Seattle.
Seattle for the Real Salt Lake game for
Yeah,
sure.
especially
Dude,
I
they
don't know,
got so
bro.
many injuries.
They just freaking bought this guy and he already got a red card. Are you kidding me?
Did I
Freaking
know?
Yedlin. That's
Jeez, bro.
crazy.
It's wild. Yeah, but we'll definitely kind of keep track of these for sure. I mean, a lot of these could be moved. I don't know yet, but we'll take a look at kind of how some of these go. But yeah, like you said, a lot of different good games coming down to the wire. Like you really can't give up a lot of points at this point. So I could see the MLS moving some of these games, just given that they will play on Sunday. So we'll
If
see.
Miami get another game moved, that'll be 4 that they have to play before.
So wild, dude. It's gonna be nuts. And then to cap us off, man, it's gonna be fun. Sunday night soccer, dude. The one game. This will be right after the third place and the final for the Leagues Cup. And then we'll have this game to kind of cap off the Sunday. LAFC versus San Diego FC. Does San Diego FC rest a little bit more now that they're completely in? Or do they gun it, dude? Do they just gun it and say, we're going for this community shield. We want to get as many points as possible. We want to get silverware. What do? I don't know. LAFC, obviously very strong, very good team. Adding, Heung-min Sun. So, they're dangerous. They're going to do what they got to do. They're going to be in BMO. So, could be very dangerous as well. This can honestly go either way, bro. I mean, this is a interesting matchup for sure.
Oh, this is maybe they're gonna. I don't know if this is the last time that they play a California team, but with what I've said is that they haven't lost to a California team all year, and they've beat all the California teams. They might be like, okay, this is our last quote unquote serious game where San Diego plays all their starters just so they can be like, this was our first year, and in our first year we didn't lose to any California teams. But maybe I think about it a little bit differently because they actually do play San Jose one more time, and then that's
They'll
it.
play them the
Yeah,
last time.
yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'll pick San Diego for this one. I can't see them resting their players just yet. I would say maybe 2 to 1 game before the playoffs start, they might rest them. I don't know about you, how you were as a player. If you knew like you were going to get to a specific spot, would you want to rest those 2 games? Maybe get 20 to 30 minutes in, just to kind of keep your legs warm and not, because like you take a break and you come back and not that you forget everything, but you kind of just like feel like sluggish.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a hard time, like you said, I have a hard time thinking that they would actually rest a lot of their guys, especially because this is going to be like a rivalry game, right? It's like California teams are going at it. People are going to sell this place out. They're going to want to see Chucky. They're going to want to see Dreyer. They're going to want to see all their top players. Right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, LAFC is going to bring it to them. You know what I mean? They're going to try to win.
Yeah.
So they probably won't do it just right now. I mean, they might take them off
The
early.
only one I can see them maybe giving a bit more of rest just because of the way the season has gone is Chucky, just because he's been a bit injured. So maybe give him a few days, maybe start him off a bit slow now and pick up his pace towards the last couple games so he's more ready for the playoffs. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not a coach.
Yeah, I like LAFC in this game. I'm going to pick them for sure because they don't really have any other tournaments that they're in. Either of these two teams do, but just the home field advantage. And then, playing a California team, you're going to want to give it your all. So I like LAFC on that one. But we'll see, man. We'll see. You never know kind of what will happen in these games. Sunday night soccer, always some good games. So we'll keep our eye on that for sure. Solid, dude. Sick little pod, sick little episode. Any final thoughts from your end, my guy?
No, it's gonna get exciting over the next couple days. Games tomorrow. Maybe I'll throw up some live reaction TikToks as it goes on. Keep an eye out for the socials. I can't promise anything for the 8:30 game or 8:45 game. That might be a bit late for me. Maybe you'll see some like dark TikToks from me just sitting in my bed. But I'll see what if I end up watching the game or not.
Sure.
I have some plans, but yeah, I mean, keep an eye out for these games. Keep an eye out for the pod. Keep an eye out for the TikToks. Like and subscribe and comment down below.
Nice. Solid. Yep. Again, we are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Like, subscribe, share. Let us know what your thoughts are on our crack performances, on the leaderboard, some of the things that we're discussing. Let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from y'all. Thanks again for tuning in, for checking us out. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. Ooh, you said a C.
I said, see ya.
Oh, okay.